I just want to say once again, thank you to the veterans who do serve our country currently and in the past. We appreciate all that you do. And I want to talk to you guys today specifically because today's show is titled VA Loans as a Wealth Building Tool. And we're going to go into more detail on that. But before I head into that, just kind of going on the article, I go through the top 10 VA loan benefits. And I want to give you a couple of them before I tell you why this is the most powerful wealth building tool out there that a large percentage of our fine military personnel never actually use. Like something like, I want to say, I read somewhere 30% of soldiers actually use their VA benefit. Okay, so 1 in 3. It's the most powerful loan available, and it's the best way to build wealth. You went out and served our country, or currently serving our country. The very least the government can do for you, in my opinion, is to help you to build wealth with the VA loan. So if you're a current active duty military or retired military, hats off to you on Veterans Day, but you need to go out there and use the VA loan. Here's a couple of the top 10 VA loan benefits, which is why. Number 1, there is no down payment on a VA loan. Now, this is probably the most important one. Okay, because most people out there looking to invest in real estate, either in a place they're planning on moving into or a place they want to purchase as a rental property, the single leading struggle that's stopping them from doing it right now is the down payment.
Check, 1 2 1 2.
Turn it up.
Welcome to the Foreclosure Deals Coach podcast.
The tides are turning. The time is now.
Your home for the mindset, methodology, and tools needed to invest in foreclosures.
Don't you dare buy a house, buy a deal. You need to get into this right now.
Yeah.
And now your host, the Foreclosure Deals Coach, Donnie Corum.
Hello, and welcome back to the Foreclosure Deals Coach podcast. I am your host and Foreclosure Deals Coach, Donnie Corum. You're just too nice. Incredible. The studio audience is amazing. And we are recording live from our downtown Denver studios with my main man, executive producer, and the guy that makes the show sound so good, Mr. Jonathan Winston. What's going on, man?
Hello there. How's it going?
What happened? What's going on?
I don't know where that came from. That just kind of like jumped up out of me, but it's all right. I'm here. You know, I'm present. We're making it happen today. With me right now, I am like, okay, I'll say it this way. When I read books, like, you know, just depending on what it is, especially if it's like something informative or, you know, just something with like, you know, a pretty good message, you know, I'm highlighting in my books. I'm going back through and rereading, you know, impactful passages to make sure, you know, I synthesize that information and, you know, make it a part of myself. So recently I've been reading The Book of Secrets by Deepak Chopra, and it's just about uncovering almost like the secret of life and the secret of, you know, like how to align yourself spiritually with your ultimate goals of, you know, accomplishments and moving forward and, you know, just being present in the moment. It's a very like, it's kind of a far reaching book. It's, you know, it's got a lot of very like meaty concepts. It's a lot of, you know, definitely spiritual content. And it's been one of those things to where, you know, you'll read something, you're like, okay, I kind of get that. But then I'm reading the next passage. I'm like, wait a minute, what did he say? And then I have to go back and just go back over the information and kind of just get to the heart of what he's really actually trying to get across, because it's really just talking about, you know, mainly just getting out of your own way and letting, you know, the present moment and just kind of like the universe kind of flow through you and living out that way as opposed to trying to always be in control of everything and trying to, you know, have such a, you know, hand hold off on top of your life and where you're going and things like that, which you need to have to a certain extent. But sometimes, you know,
let go sometimes too.
Yeah, man, you got to feel like you talk about a lot, fail forward fast.
Yes.
It's just that concept of, you know, sometimes you might not know exactly where you're going, but if you have the right intentions, if you're doing the work on yourself, on your inside and yourself spiritually, if you're doing the work, you know, in your real life, as far as educating yourself and doing things like that, you're more than likely on the right path. And, you know, If you just get out of your way and have faith in that,
I love that.
Surprised where you end up.
That's beautiful. It's so important, such an important message, because I think, first of all, it's good that you're going deep on just in general knowledge. Guys, listen, the idea of listening to a podcast, it's to better yourself, is to try to find a deeper meaning for all this thing. And obviously, this is not a philosophical show or we're a foreclosure deals show, but all of this comes down to that in a lot of ways. It's like, what's the deeper meaning? What is the purpose? Why are you all here right now listening to this show? So with that, thank you for that. Let's get into the show today. We're going to be discussing, as the title of the show would allude to, today is Veterans Day. So kudos to all of our fine military personnel out there. Thank you.
We love you guys.
Our hats off, you guys. Thanks for keeping us safe. Both my parents are ex-military. Dad is ex-Air Force. Mom's ex-Army. I saw enough action, I guess it was, that although I wanted to fly jets like Tom Cruise, they said, I'm serious now, that you're going to be too big for a F-14 cockpit, and that Tom Cruise is short, and
he is short.
I mean, I heard that, and then suddenly my entire childhood dreams were dashed. I had a pilot's license growing up. I went and got my pilot's license while most kids are working on getting their driver's license. I was getting rides out to the airport to learn how to fly, so I was really into it. But when they told me I was not going to get a fighter pilot anytime in the future because of my size, I kind of let that go. So I just want to say once again, thank you to the veterans who do serve our country currently and in the past. We appreciate all that you do. And I want to talk to you guys today specifically because today's show is titled VA Loans as a Wealth Building Tool. And we're going to go into more detail on that. But before I head into that, just kind of going over the article, I go over the top 10 VA loan benefits. And I want to give you a couple of them before I tell you why this is the most powerful wealth building tool out there that a large percentage of our fine military personnel never actually use. Like something like, I want to say I read somewhere 30% of soldiers actually use their VA benefit. Okay, so 1 in 3. It's the most powerful loan available, and it's the best way to build wealth. You went out and served our country, or are currently serving our country. The very least the government can do for you, in my opinion, is to help you to build wealth with the VA loan. So if you're a current active duty military or retired military, hats off to you on Veterans Day, but you need to go out there and use the VA loan. Here's a couple of the top 10 VA loan benefits, which is why. Number 1, there is no down payment on a VA loan. Now, this is probably the most important one. Okay, because most people out there looking to invest in real estate, either in a place they're planning on moving into or a place they want to purchase as a rental property, the single leading struggle that's stopping them from doing it right now is the down payment. Right? So the VA eliminates that for you. You can walk in and literally put nothing down on a VA loan, as opposed to most people in a conventional or FHA sense, FHA being the civilian equivalent, if you will, of the VA loan, which is a government-backed loan allowing you to leverage more capital. In VA's case, you're leveraging 100% of the government's money to buy a property, no money out of pocket. Okay, and you got to put nothing out of pocket, like an FHA loan, which is 3.5% down at minimum, or conventional loans, which start at like 5% and can work their way all the way up to 20% down. Okay, it's a true no money down opportunity. You might have to bring in what's called earnest money to secure the contract, but after that, and in most cases, you can get the earnest money back at closing, making the VA loan a zero down deal, which is just simply awesome. Number 2, no mortgage insurance for VA loans. Okay, so that's critical because a lot of these other loan programs I just talked about, if you're putting less than 20% down, the lenders found a way in times of really low rates to increase their yield on this by selling mortgage insurance. So a whole other industry popped up that said, if you don't make your payments, this mortgage insurance will kick in and pay back the lender on the loan. Great news for getting people who are in high leverage loans. Super bad news for the guy who had to get the mortgage insurance. Okay, no mortgage insurance at all on the VA loan. loans. And if you want to catch all 10 of these, just hop on to the link. We're going to be posting it onto the Facebook page, into the group, into the show notes. You'll get all access to it. But number 3, and the last one I want to go over, is VA loans come with a government guarantee. What that means is in the event that you default on the loan, the government backs up that loan. And that's why, in general, like FHA and other government secured loans, banks love VA loans because it's almost virtually a zero risk deal for them. Because if you screw up, the government comes in, pays off the loan, takes the house back as collateral. You know, in the past, I bought a whole ton of VA foreclosures, and those are exactly those settings because a soldier, for whatever reason, got transferred out, couldn't rent the property, stuff happens, life catches up with everybody, and in the end, the house was foreclosed on. The government actually ended up securing that loan, paying back the lender, and now the VA owns that property, and it became a VA foreclosure. Okay. Now, this is where I get to the part where I explain why the VA loan is the most powerful buying tool for buying foreclosures ever. This is big, right? Because
I'm ready.
You already know there's no money down. You already know they're government backed, right? There's no prepayment penalty. That's all on the list. What you may not know is you can, in fact, buy below market assets like foreclosures. Welcome to the Foreclosure Deals Coach podcast.
You're here. Thank you.
Right? So if you're out there looking to buy a deal and you served or currently are serving our country right now, you can use this government loan to buy a property well under market, basically guaranteeing the lowest rate of all time that's available out there with no money down and picking up equity all at the same time. As a wealth bidding tool, it doesn't get too much better than this because you're out there now able to shop and buy a house below market, foreclosed, basically becoming an investor with no money out of pocket. There's no better way to do it. Okay.
Even in a messed up condition, even in a rundown, HUD foreclosure, you can get one of those with the VA.
So that's where the catch kicks in just a little bit. The VA appraiser, VA appraisers are not known, let's just say, for their understanding nature. Okay. And it's something that comes from, I was an appraiser myself, so I'm not knocking appraisers. We've had appraisers on this show. We love appraisers here. Okay. So no hate mail from appraisers, but the VA appraisers are actually known to be a little bit more conservative. A couple of reasons, they want to protect their soldiers, which is a big thing, right? They want to make sure they're buying houses that are qualified for the VA loan. And just in general, appraisers got kind of blamed for the last big crisis, okay? So to answer your question, yes, there are some condition items that the VA will allow. They won't allow all condition items. Some of the things the VA is super hard on, number one, is broken glass. Like every time we've had anything related to broken glass, it's got to be somewhere in the VA appraiser handbook that broken glass is the devil. Now, I get it. It's a safety hazard, and I get it for that thing. But the thing about it is it's usually pretty easy to fix. You just put new glass in, right? But if it has broken glass, windows are busted out, anything like that, it will not pass VA. The next one they're super big on is like exposed wood. And every time we've had any peeling paint or wood problems, the VA appraiser hones in on that. It's just hard to describe it. It's like an attraction for VA. Oh my God, this paint is peeling. I go, we could just, paint it.
It is paint. We can paint over it, right?
There's paint right here, but they will seize that thing up. And I'm not saying all VA appraisers are bad. I'm saying that they're more conservative, okay? But to answer your question, yes. And here's the thing. We talk about foreclosures, and you mentioned HUD foreclosures, but there's always the assumption that the virtue of a foreclosure means a property is going to be run down. In my experience, that's only some of the time. Hi, this is Donnie Corum, your foreclosure deals coach. One question I'm asked all the time is, how do I get started in real estate investing? Here's the thing. In order to get into the game, you got to have access to the big data that drives the real estate market. After all, you wouldn't trade stocks without a trading platform, and you shouldn't get started in investing in real estate without dealhunter.io. Dealhunter.io is an application that I use daily to find the best deals in the real estate market, to provide that information to my lending partners so I can fund those deals, to know how to fix those deals, to bring them in line with the market, and most importantly, how to sell those deals at a profit. So if you're looking to get started in real estate investing, head on out to dealhunter.io and sign up for a free 7-day trial of the PropStream application that'll separate you from other competitors of the real estate market. With that, this is Donnie Coram from dealhunter.io reminding you, don't buy a house, buy a deal. Every now and then you'll get a foreclosure that's in tip-top shape. It's not, obviously, if the house was in tip-top shape, you think they would have tried to sell it. Sometimes they just abandon it. I can't tell you why, but you will have to look for a nicer end of the foreclosure side in order to use your VA loan, for sure.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
If it's completely trash, it's probably not going to hang out. But I can tell you not all of them are completely trash. So keep your eyes peeled, you VA buyers out there, for great deals in the marketplace that are HUD foreclosures and et cetera. And then go see them and evaluate them. Have somebody who knows what they're doing from a VA perspective go see the property and ask if it'll pass. You know, in a lot of cases it will. Sometimes it won't. I'm not saying this is a guaranteed thing, but this is about wealth building. You're looking for the tool that's going to best apply to you. So now I want to tell you a bit of a story. Okay, I had a soldier friend client of mine who I met many, many years ago who were sitting down to my usual buyer consultation, and I give him my typical pitch about how I'm a foreclosure expert, okay, and I help people to buy deals. And he's sitting there, the guy's name was Paul, and Paul's very quiet and just good, strong military guy, got the crew cut, hasn't said much. I go, well, Paul, how do you feel about buying an under market asset? He goes, to add to the other 8 that I already own.
Oh, wow.
I go, correct me if I'm wrong, but you told me you're a member of the U.S. Army. Yes, I am. Well, thank you for your service, but how did you manage to acquire 8 properties? See, the other thing about the VA loan that a lot of people aren't aware of is you can buy multiple properties with the VA loan. In the past, they had a loan limit. So you could use your loan limit in El Paso County, Colorado Springs, Colorado area. That loan limit was like $436,000 for the longest time. It's since gone up to infinity. You can go to VA loans as much as you want to spend, but back then it was capped off. Well, what Paul had done is every duty station he had been to, and he'd been with the military a long time, but in every duty station, he went and bought a house in that location, right? Now he was at the point where he owned 8 houses, and he was bringing in more in rental income from these 8 properties that he had bought over his years of service in the military than he was making from the military itself.
I really like Paul. He sounds like a cool guy.
Paul was a badass in every which way. I tried to get him to talk to me, about what he had done, and he was definitely higher up the ranks, and he was very good at what he did. That's as far as he was going to tell me. And at times I was thankful for that because he was not the guy you wanted to piss off.
Okay, sure.
But Paul had built himself an empire using the VA loan. And from that point forward, I took Paul's story and I copied it and gave it to every soldier I ever met. All the guys living in the barracks, all the guys who were using their base housing allowance, which is basically not exactly free money, right? Because you've given up your life and your career and a lot of times time with your family to serve your country. But in exchange, they give you a base housing allowance that, depending on where you're located, can be $1,600, $1,700, $1,800 a month you're getting just to go to housing. And these guys were living in the barracks while that money was not being used. It blew me away. Some of them went off base and used that money to rent a property, which was equally as confusing. And the smart ones were using the base housing allowance money from the government to provide for housing to buy houses. And the other ones, wait for it, were out there looking for deals. Right? And if you are the type who's listening to the show, so clearly you are, and if you have a soldier that you love and you care about, and ideally is stateside, not overseas fighting for our country right now, but even if they are, forward this show, will you? First of all, I want to send my appreciation, but also when you guys get home or you're ready to buy a house, wherever you happen to be in the US of A, I want to help you to find a deal in your locale and put that VA loan to work. Okay, because it's low interest, no money down. You can build assets with it. You can rent that property out, and you can refinance the property to free up your VA eligibility. So you start out buying it zero down with your VA loan. You live in it for a while, fix it up, whatever you're going to do. Then you refinance it to conventional financing, freeing up your VA eligibility, and then you can go buy another property zero down using the VA loan. Okay,
Wow.
It's incredible tool. But the fact that like 70% of soldiers don't use it literally makes me sad, because the tool is there. The interest rates are lower than they've ever been. It's super easy to qualify. FICO score is like down to like 600 in most cases. On the VA side, I've seen it as low as 580, So if your credit's not great, you don't have a ton of money down, you can still buy a house with a VA loan. Only qualifications is you have to have actively served or currently serving in the United States military. Any of the branches will do.
I've got, my dad was in the Air Force. This sounds incredible, man. I'm too old now. They probably wouldn't want to take an old dude like me, but.
Oh no, we can get you in.
I was joking. I'm not really trying to do that, but the VA loan, that's really cool, man. And I'm really excited that we're doing this episode to, just give back to the veterans out there. Cause like you said, man, they've done a lot for us and do a lot for our country. So we definitely need to show support, and we do it the best way we can by giving people good information.
Absolutely. And this is a powerful tool. And there's a lot of misinformation about the VA loan. And this is not, I'm not going to go on a conspiracy theory rant, but I fully believe the government does not want to do VA loans. Okay. It's kind of like the GI Bill, where there's just a bunch of bad info out there. They know it's available, but they don't make it readily easy to access information about it to the soldiers. Okay. And the reasoning behind that, again, follow the money. In the end, insuring a loan is not good for them. If you default, they got to figure it out. The fact that you've got a consistent income, it's highly unlikely you're going to be laid off. There's a lot of reasons why it's a very low risk loan for them, but they don't publicize it very well for some reason. So I have made a lot of my business being in Colorado Springs, Colorado, where I did most of my early years as an agent, just getting out there and talking to soldiers about it. I did a lot of conferences and shows and stuff where I'm just explaining to soldiers, hey, this is out there. Certainly it was great for business, but it was also good for me personally to know that I was helping people who were risking their lives to protect their country, to understand that the most powerful wealth building tool out there is real estate. And you got access to a loan program that will allow you to purchase that real estate with nothing out of pocket. So you've got to utilize that loan program. If you have questions, you don't know exactly where to turn, you don't know where a good VA lender is located in your neighborhood, I'm connected to a network of lenders. I'm happy to get you hooked up with the right VA lender out there. But whether you're looking to buy a home for your family, a foreclosure to flip, or whatever it is, use your VA loan. Yes, you can use it multiple times. Yes, there is a funding fee. You probably heard about that tacks on a percentage on every deal. It is kind of expensive in that sense, but the upside's way outside the downsides, okay? Anytime you can use somebody else's money, in this case, government money, to build your wealth, you have got to do that. And this is an opportunity to do just that. So go out there, look for houses that are VA eligible, and put in an offer on it. Now, what blows me away is in certain markets, and I can tell you Colorado Springs is not one of them, or anywhere in Colorado probably, but Colorado is not a place, but there are places where VA loans are considered to be a disadvantage. And it's because of that VA conservatism that comes from the appraisers, okay? Some people just who don't have heavy military contingent like we do here in the Colorado marketplace, you have so many great bases in Colorado Springs, the Air Force Academy, Peterson Air Force Base, Schriever Air Force Base, and of course, who can forget Fort Carson, one of the largest Army bases in the United States of America. Because of that, we're very used to VA, but other cities across the country don't have that familiarity, And I don't want to mess with capitalism. I understand that if VA is not desirable, if the seller doesn't want to take it, I get that. But in my experience, VA loans are better, faster, and smoother than most FHA for certain, and in a lot of cases easier than conventional loans as well. Less money down, less financial questions because they're not worried about where the money's coming from, because they know. You don't have to worry about hunting down your pay stubs. You can get your LES statement online, download it, provide that with your tax returns. We literally have gotten VA loans closed in 10 to 14 days from the time that the soldier found the house. and these are under market deals that are out there that you can purchase right now. The VA loan rate I'm looking right now is at 2.625. That is free money, guys. I would sever my right arm for a 2.6% rate. That's a lot of buying power. You got access to it, nothing down, that a lot of you aren't using. And I say guys, I also mean gals. Obviously, my mom served in the military, so I appreciate you ladies in the military as well. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Find yourself a deal. Use your VA loan. Buy something under market. Turn it into a rental. Be like Paul, y'all.
Okay, he's rhyming today, guys. We like that.
That was a Paul. Okay, never mind. So what I want you to do now, right? Obviously, you listen to the show, you're wondering how to get started. Here's what you do. Number one, head on out to the Foreclosure Deals Coach page. Especially if you're a proud veteran, please celebrate your service with us. We really appreciate all that you've done for us. And if you need help locating a VA lender in your neck of the woods, somebody licensed in that area, I've got people for that. I can definitely help you with it, okay? A lot of the lenders here that I work with are former military servicemen. That's very huge in my neck of the woods. So I got a lot of people in that area. They love working with fellow soldiers and helping them to utilize their VA benefits. So join up in the Facebook group, Foreclosure Deals Coach Insiders. It's fast, it's fun, it's free. We will talk more about how to use your VA loan to continue to build your empire through foreclosure investing. And then if you're ready to secure coaching, like you want to take your investing career to the next level, you're a fine military service member, and you want to do this professionally, sign up for a coaching breakthrough call at dealhunteracademy.com. You can sign up for a call. You and I will get to chat for a few minutes, discuss whether coaching's a good fit for you. Yes, there's an investment, but I got to tell you, if I could go back and do my investing career again, the one thing I would change, the one thing I'm certain I would do differently was to get professional coaching sooner. Okay, it would have avoided a whole bunch of pitfalls, a bunch of mistakes that I made that didn't need to be made if I just had the right guidance. When I finally did get professional coaching, it took off. So if you're a combination of a zero down buyer, because you got a VA loan eligibility and the wherewithal that you believe you need coaching, I would love to talk to you about helping you to find a great deal right there in your marketplace. But one way or the other, you got to get out there and use your VA loan. So that's our show for today. We're out of time. We'd like to keep these things pretty short and sweet so you can get the essence of it. Once again, thank you to our military personnel. Please join the Facebook group and stay tuned. And listen, we loved all the feedback. Did you know, Jay, that we cleared, I don't know why we didn't celebrate this, but we cleared like 10,000 downloads.
What?
10,000 downloads almost like 3 weeks ago now.
Dude, if y'all can see me right now, I'm dancing. I'm grooving right now.
Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Moving on up, guys.
When you start looking at the statistics on podcasts who make it to 10,000 downloads, it's nil. Like there's so many podcasts out there. And of course, they're the ones who get, like Joe Rogan, who gets like 10,000 downloads in a minute, right? I get it.
Yeah, whatever, Joe. Cool, whatever.
Okay, so you're rich and famous and all that stuff, whatever, right? But it was a huge accomplishment for us. We really appreciate all the listenership. We are growing leaps and bounds in the groups. Lots of stuff going on. And stay tuned, because as we head into 2021, we're going to be bringing back live events where you're going to be able to meet up and discuss with a foreclosure deals coach right there in your local market, help you buy some deals in that marketplace and take your real estate investing career to the next level. Until then, this is Donnie Coram, your foreclosure deals coach, reminding you now and always, don't buy a house, buy a deal.
Want more of the Foreclosure Deals Coach? Like our Facebook page, Foreclosure Deals Coach, for the latest in real estate and foreclosure investing. Become a part of our community. Search Foreclosure Deals Coach on Facebook to join today.